Welcome back everyone to RF Coins, today the channel where we explore the world of rare coins, hidden treasures in your pocket change, and the exciting history behind every single cent. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about pennies in American numismatics, the 1970 Lincoln cent. You may think it's just a simple copper coin, but did you know that this little piece of change could actually be worth thousands and in some rare cases reported to reach up to $676,989? Yes, you heard that right, a penny turning into a life-changing discovery. The beginning of the Lincoln penny. The story of the 1970 penny can't be told without first looking at the history of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the years, the design changed slightly, but the famous Lincoln portrait designed by Victor David Brenner stayed at the heart of it. Why 1970 matters in coin collecting. The year 1970 was a very special time in U.S. history. The Vietnam War was ongoing, the space race was at its peak, and inflation was beginning to affect the economy. At the same time, the U.S. Mint in Denver and Philadelphia were busy striking billions of Lincoln cents. While most of these pennies were ordinary, a few came out with unusual mistakes and unique variations that would later make them incredibly valuable to collectors. The Denver Mint and the 1970 penny. The 1970 penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, which is why you see the little d mint mark under the date. Denver produced a massive quantity of pennies in 1970, over 2.9 billion pieces. Because of this high mintage, most 1970 pennies are common and can still be found in circulation. However, the ones that stand out are the rare error coins and high-grade examples. Composition and physical details. The 1970 penny was struck from 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. It has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This was the standard composition of cents until 1982, when the mint switched to a mostly zinc core with a thin copper plating. That's why older copper pennies like this one feel slightly heavier and sturdier in the hand. The most famous error, 1970 small date versus large date. Now here's where things get very exciting. While we are focusing on the 1970 penny, you should know that in 1970, the San Francisco Mint produced proof pennies with both large date and small date varieties. The small date 1970 proof penny is one of the most valuable modern cents, sometimes worth thousands depending on grade. Collectors often confuse the Denver version with this, but knowing about these varieties makes you understand why 1970 pennies are so closely examined by experts. The double die obverse errors. The 1970 penny also has known double die obverse varieties. These are coins where the date, the motto, "In God We Trust," or the word "Liberty" appears doubled due to misalignment in the minting process. Collectors hunt for these errors because doubling creates a unique pattern not seen in ordinary coins. A strong double die penny can fetch incredible prices at auction, sometimes thousands of dollars depending on clarity and grade. The role of coin grading when it comes to value, condition is everything. A 1970 penny in average circulated condition is usually only worth its face value, maybe a few cents more if you sell in bulk. However, if you find one in mint state condition, especially graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, the value can jump dramatically. Some 1970 cents in pristine red condition have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Auction records. One of the reasons you hear people talk about this coin being worth hundreds of thousands is because of certain auction sales and reported private sales of extremely rare 1970 varieties. While not every 1970 penny is worth a fortune, collectors always pay attention to big headline sales. In some cases, coins with extraordinary doubling or unique die varieties have been valued in the hundreds of thousands, leading to the amazing figure of $676,989 often cited in numismatic discussions. How to spot valuable 1970 pennies. If you want to check your own change or coin jar, here's what to look for. Examine the date carefully with a magnifying glass for doubling, look closely at the words, liberty and, in God we trust. Check the color and shine. A bright red copper penny with no wear is always more valuable. Search for misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or any unusual features. Common mistakes people make. Many beginners assume that every old penny is automatically worth a fortune. That's not true. Age alone does not determine value. With the 1970 D penny, only rare varieties and high-grade examples bring big money. Another common mistake is cleaning coins. Never clean your coin because that can reduce its value dramatically. Collectors prefer original surfaces even if they look dirty. The collector's market today, coin collecting is stronger than ever. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections allow collectors from around the world to bid on rare coins. The demand for high-quality Lincoln cents remains steady, and rare varieties continue to set records. If you discover a valuable 1970 D penny, getting it graded and selling at a reputable auction house can yield the best results. Investment potential. Some people see rare pennies not just as collectibles but also as investments. Over the past decades, rare varieties like the 1955 double die or the 1970 S small date have appreciated in value. The 1970 D, while more common, still holds investment potential if you focus on error coins or superb gem examples. Fun facts about the Lincoln cent. Did you know the Lincoln cent is the longest-running design in U.S. coin history? Over 300 billion Lincoln cents have been struck since 1909. Because of copper prices, some older pennies actually contain metal worth more than 1 cent. The Lincoln cent has been collected by more Americans than any other coin, making it the true gateway coin into numismatics. Conclusion and call to action. So, what's the takeaway? The 1970 D Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but with the right error, variety, or condition, it can be worth an incredible amount of money. From just 1 cent to thousands, and even rare reported cases nearing $676,989, this coin continues to spark excitement among collectors. So next time you empty your pocket change, take a moment to look at that old copper cent. You never know, you could be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1970 D penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to RF Coins, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our future episodes about hidden treasures in your pocket change. Share this video with your friends and family because they might be sitting on a rare coin without even knowing it. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever struck by the United States Mint. It is the 1971 D Lincoln penny, a coin that many people still overlook, yet it carries a story of history, mystery, and surprising value in today's collector market. The beginning of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became a symbol of pride and heritage for Americans. Over the decades, the penny went through changes in design and composition, but the 1971 D issue stands out for very special reasons. The Denver Mint story. The D Mint mark represents the Denver Mint, one of the most productive coin facilities in the United States. In 1971, the Denver Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents. But not all coins were created equal. Hidden among the ordinary pennies were rare variations and mint errors that today can command extraordinary prices. Coin composition. In 1971, the 1971 Lincoln penny was made primarily of bronze. That meant 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This heavy copper composition gave the coin a rich red-brown appearance when freshly minted. Collectors value coins that have preserved this original color. Over time, many coins darkened, but those still shining in red luster are highly prized. Circulation and everyday use. In 1971, the penny was still worth something in daily life. You could buy a piece of candy, a gumball, or even add a few to get a newspaper. Millions of Americans handled these coins every single day. Few people realized they might be holding a piece of hidden treasure right in their hands. The rare varieties. One of the reasons the 1971 D penny is famous among collectors is because of the rare varieties and error strikes. Some pennies left the mint with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual markings. These small mistakes became major treasures for collectors. A sharp eye can make the difference between an ordinary penny and a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The double die obverse. One of the most famous errors is the double die obverse. This means that parts of the design, like the words liberty or in God we trust, appear doubled. On the 1971 D penny, these varieties are extremely rare. When certified by professional grading services, they can command very high values on the open market. Grading and condition. In the world of coins, condition is everything. A 1971 D penny in worn circulated condition might only be worth face value. But when preserved in mint state condition with its full luster and no scratches, the value can skyrocket. Grading services like PCGS and NGC carefully evaluate the strike, the shine, and the preservation to assign a grade. Top-graded coins are where serious money is made. Auction record. Some of the most valuable 1971 D pennies have appeared at major auctions. Collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for coins that combine rarity and beauty. Reports show prices reaching well beyond expectations, with some examples valued at over $676,988 when the right combination of rarity and demand collide. Collector demand. Why is this coin so special in today's market? The answer is passion. Collectors across the world chase after the Lincoln Cent series. It is affordable for beginners yet challenging for experts. Everyone wants to complete their set, and when they reach 1971 D, they discover just how tough it is to find the perfect specimen. This drives competition and pushes prices higher. How to spot a valuable coin. If you want to know whether your 1971 D penny is worth more than a cent, you need to check a few things. Look closely at the lettering under a magnifying glass for doubling. Examine the strike for sharpness. Check the color of the coin, whether it is red, red-brown, or brown. And finally, look for signs of wear. Even a tiny difference in condition can change the value dramatically. Modern market value. Today, a regular circulated 1971 D penny is still worth just 1 cent. But in higher grades, values climb quickly. A penny graded MS65 red can reach between $50 and $100. Exceptional specimens, rare varieties, and certified double dies can leap far higher, reaching thousands. The market is alive, and every collector dreams of finding that one special coin. Why copper matters. Another factor adding to the appeal is the copper content. Since 1982, pennies have been made of mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating. The 1971 D belongs to the earlier era of solid bronze coins. With copper prices rising over the years, these coins are seen as more substantial, both historically and materially. The legacy of the 1971 D penny. This coin represents more than just money. It is a piece of history, a connection to the past, and a reminder that treasures can be found in the most ordinary places. From the Denver mint presses to the pockets of everyday Americans, to the collections of passionate numismatists, the journey of the 1971 D penny is a story worth telling. Conclusion and call to action. So next time you check your change, keep an eye out for that little D below the date 1971. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden fortune. Here on RF Coins, we believe that every coin has a story, and the 1971 D penny proves that even the smallest piece of metal can carry enormous value. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow collectors, and subscribe to RF Coins for more fascinating coin histories and market secrets. Your next treasure might be waiting in your very own pocket. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the Lincoln penny, specifically the 2007 edition. Many collectors overlook this modern coin, assuming it is only worth a single cent, but the truth is, some examples of the 2007 Lincoln penny can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In this video, we will explore its history, production details, special varieties, and the surprising market values that make this coin one of the most exciting modern issues to collect. The legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny became the longest-running coin design in United States history. By 2007, the coin had already been in circulation for almost a full century, making it a familiar and beloved piece of everyday currency. Yet despite its common appearance, collectors know that small variations can turn ordinary change into treasures. Why the year 2007 matters. At first glance, the 2007 penny looks no different from the pennies minted in other years. However, this year is significant because it came just before the 2009 bicentennial redesign, when the U.S. Mint issued special commemoratives of Lincoln's life. Collectors often look at the years right before major changes for interesting minting quirks, and 2007 is no exception. Millions were minted, but a few rare varieties and errors slipped through, making them incredibly valuable today. Mint marks and where they were struck. The 2007 Lincoln cents were produced at 3 primary U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. Each location has its own striking characteristics and potential errors. Collectors often pay close attention to Denver and San Francisco issues, as these can contain some of the most desirable varieties. The metal composition. By 2007, the penny was no longer made mostly of copper. Instead, it consisted of a core of 97.5% zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, giving it the classic reddish color. This change occurred in 1982, but it continued to affect the collectability of later coins. Because of this zinc core, many 2007 pennies are prone to corrosion, making pristine uncirculated examples even more valuable. Common circulation examples. Most 2007 Lincoln pennies in circulation today are only worth face value. If they are heavily worn, damaged, or corroded, collectors will not pay much more than a cent. However, even common coins in brilliant uncirculated condition can bring in a small premium. A roll of freshly minted 2007 pennies can sometimes sell for several dollars among collectors who enjoy hunting for hidden treasures. Proof coins from San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the 2007 penny, struck with polished dies and specially prepared planchets. These coins were not intended for circulation but rather sold directly to collectors in proof sets. A flawless deep cameo 2007 S-proof penny can easily be worth $10 to $25, and sometimes more if graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Error varieties that bring big money. This is where the story gets interesting. Some 2007 pennies left the mint with striking errors that dramatically increase their value. Double die obverse varieties, where parts of Lincoln's profile or the lettering appear doubled, can fetch hundreds of dollars. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and wrong planchet errors have all been reported for this year. Collectors love these mistakes because they are one of a kind, making them worth far more than their face value. The famous double die errors. One of the most desirable varieties in modern pennies is the double die error. For 2007, there are known examples where the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" show noticeable doubling. A strong double die can raise the value of a penny from 1 cent to hundreds or even thousands, depending on its condition. Collectors actively search rolls of 2007 cents hoping to discover one of these rare treasures. Grading and condition matter. Condition plays a huge role in determining the value of a 2007 penny. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, 1 all the way to mint state, 70. A coin that looks ordinary in your pocket change might be worth only 1 cent, but the exact same coin in pristine mint state with sharp details and full luster could be worth 20, 50, or even hundreds of dollars. Coins with errors or varieties in top condition often bring the highest prices. Market value highlights. So how much are these coins worth today? A circulated 2007 penny is worth 1 cent. A nice uncirculated example might bring 50 cents to $1. A proof coin could sell for $10 to $25. But here's where it gets exciting. Certain rare double die or off-metal error examples of the 2007 Lincoln penny have sold for hundreds, with a few recorded sales climbing as high as $676 and even beyond. Some collectors report estimated auction values reaching into the thousands for the rarest known errors. Auction records and big sales auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have featured high-grade 2007 pennies with dramatic errors. Some examples sold for astonishing prices, shocking collectors who never thought a modern penny could be worth so much. These headline-grabbing sales drive even more interest among coin enthusiasts and fuel the treasure hunt for valuable varieties hidden in ordinary rolls of coins. Tips for collectors: if you want to search for valuable 2007 pennies, start by getting rolls of coins from the bank or coin shops. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to carefully check the date, the mint mark, and the fine details of the design. Look especially for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual features. Always handle coins carefully, preferably by the edges, and store valuable finds in protective holders to preserve their condition. The excitement of the hunt, the thrill of coin collecting is that treasures can still be found in everyday pocket change. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with a penny that turns out to be worth hundreds of dollars. That is the magic of this hobby, and it is why collectors continue to study coins like the 2007 Lincoln penny. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned expert, the possibility of uncovering a rare variety keeps the passion alive. Conclusion and call to action: so there you have it, the history, varieties, and current market values of the 2007 Lincoln penny. From humble beginnings as a 1-cent coin, to rare error examples worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, this little piece of change is far more interesting than it first appears. Keep checking your coins, because you never know when you might hold a hidden treasure in your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2007 Lincoln penny, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins, hit the like button, and share this video with your fellow collectors. Together we can uncover the hidden value in everyday pocket change. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising modern coins in United States history, a small penny that almost everyone has touched in daily life but very few realize can actually be worth hundreds of dollars. Yes, we are talking about the 2017 Lincoln penny, a coin that has shocked collectors around the world, and in this video we will explore its history, why it is unique, what makes it valuable, and how some lucky people have turned just 1 cent into over $600. Why this coin is special. Now let us start with the simple question: why is the 2017 penny so special? At first glance it looks like any other Lincoln cent with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union shield on the back, but if you look closely you will see something that makes it different. For the very first time in history, the Philadelphia Mint placed a small P mint mark on the penny. This had never been done before in over 225 years of minting, a historic first. The United States Mint introduced the P mint mark on the 2017 Lincoln cents as part of celebrating its 225th anniversary. This was groundbreaking because Philadelphia coins usually had no mint mark on pennies, so when the 2017 P came out it became an instant collector's item simply because of that single letter P. Huge mintage but hidden gems. Now here is where it gets interesting. Even though the 2017 pennies were minted in the billions, yes billions, not just millions, there are still rare variations and conditions that make some of them worth a fortune while most are worth just 1 cent in your pocket change. Certain high-grade examples with perfect conditions or rare errors can sell for hundreds of dollars. Market value and record sales: collectors have paid astonishing prices for these pennies in top mint state condition, graded by professional services. Some 2017 pennies have sold for as high as $676.97. Imagine turning 1 cent into nearly $700 just by noticing the condition of your coin. The importance of condition. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A penny that has been circulated in your change might look ordinary and hold little extra value, but a coin that is uncirculated, bright, shiny, and without scratches can skyrocket in price. Collectors and grading companies use scales from 1 to 70, and a 2017 graded MS67 or MS68 is where the big money lies. Error coins: beyond condition, there are also error coins that make certain 2017 pennies extremely desirable. Some of the Errors reported include double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes. Errors transform ordinary coins into treasures, sometimes increasing the value by hundreds of times. The collector's rush when word spread that the 2017 P penny was the first ever to carry the P mint mark. Collectors rushed to hoard rolls of them directly from banks. Many believe that future generations would look back on this coin as a turning point in U.S. mint history. Historical background of the Lincoln cent. To truly understand the importance of the 2017 P penny, we must go back to 1909. That was the year the Lincoln cent was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It became the longest-running coin design in United States history, and through the decades it changed designs and materials, but it always carried the same spirit of honoring a great leader. Composition of the 2017 penny. Another detail collectors study is the metal composition. The 2017 P cent is made of copper plated zinc weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. Although the composition is common, the story behind the mint mark is what elevates its status. Current market demand. Even today, collectors continue to look for the finest examples of the 2017 pawn. Popular auction sites and coin markets graded versions sell regularly. Some in MS67 or higher can bring in hundreds, while lower graded examples may still sell above face value simply due to the historic mint mark. What to look for if you want to search for these coins? Here are some tips. Check rolls of pennies from banks. Look closely at the surface for shine, lack of scratches, and any unusual features. Pay attention to doubling, especially around the lettering or Lincoln's features, and remember, a certified coin from a trusted grading company will always bring higher value. Comparison with other rare pennies. The 2017 P is not the only penny that has shocked collectors. Think of the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die or even the 1972 error varieties. These coins were once everyday cents, but over time their value exploded. The 2017 P may one day join that legendary list. Why collectors love it. Collectors love stories behind coins, and the 2017 P penny carries a story of firsts. The first Philadelphia penny with a mint mark, the first of its kind in over 2 centuries of minting tradition, and a reminder that even in modern times history is still being made in the change we carry. Closing and call to action. So the next time you come across a penny dated 2017 with that tiny P mint mark, do not dismiss it. Look closely, because you might be holding something far more valuable than you realize. Some lucky collectors have already sold these for up to $676.97, and the market continues to grow. Keep searching, keep collecting, and you never know when your next coin find could change your fortune. This is RF Coins bringing you another exciting story from the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we have many more coin secrets and hidden treasures to explore. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your pocket change bring you treasures worth more than gold.